I mean, I haven't heard that many. A few baseball purists here and there arguing against this, but it seems like, to me, by and large, people are in favor of instant replay in baseball. Doesn't it seem like that to you guys? It seems like people want one instant replay, and I'm all for it. I mean, I am all for it. Get it right. That's what I say. Get everything right. We have the technology now in any and all sports. I mean, they could be flawless. All sports could be called perfect. So why aren't they? Elwood in the chat room says some people say baseball is too slow, and now they have found a way to make it even more slow. Listen, reviewing questionable calls, it doesn't matter if it makes baseball a little more slow. Baseball's so slow anyway. Another 5 minutes tacked onto a game, another 5-10 minutes is not going to make a difference. If you're going to watch baseball, if you're going to sit down and watch a baseball game, you know not to have anything planned for the next 3 hours. I mean, come on, it's slow. It goes slow. That's what they do. KLSX in the chat room says they do it in basketball and in football. Yeah, but in basketball they have, like the technicalities, like the thing that happened with Orlando and Detroit this year in the playoffs, where they couldn't consult they couldn't consult the replay because there wasn't 0 seconds on the clock. There was 4 seconds on the clock because the clock didn't tick, and because of a technicality that says there has to be 0 seconds on the clock for referees to consult a replay. Because of that technicality, Orlando got screwed out of that game. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. Forget technicalities. We have the technology to get all calls right in all sports. We have the technology to not miss any calls or get any wrong, assuming that whatever play that we're talking about, has all the telling camera angles, which most of them do. The way most sports, events are shot these days, there's cameras everywhere. I mean, there's cameras everywhere. Elwood says it's a game, not the $6 million man. I understand it's a game. I'm struggling to make the $6 million man connection. I'm not that old. I mean, I'm familiar with the $6 million man. I don't think I ever watched it. So I can't make the connection. I'm sorry. We have the technology. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just get it right. It's just not that hard. And I don't understand people that argue with this. Oh, well, what about the umpires? Listen, I run a business. All right? Outside of this, I run a business. You want me to tell you what costs us money? Payroll. All right? If we find a way to knock off payroll, it increases overhead. We make more money. If you can axe your umpires, or at least a few. I mean, you know what I mean? If we're ultimately going towards no umpires in the game, that's not bad for baseball. That's just fine. It's just fine for baseball. I don't know. To me, I like to get things right. I don't want my team to get screwed out of any big games because of somebody else's mistake. And that's all that that's what this allows to happen. But I'm not alone. And you know who agrees with me? Major League Baseball. So much so that they are going to institute, most likely, instant replay during this season. This isn't even something they're talking about bringing back next year. I mean, they're talking about just doing it this year. But it's like weird. It's weird what they're doing. Have you guys heard anything about this? It's odd. It's the umpires there at the game don't actually make the call. Like, the video is sent into what they're calling an umpiring war room. Yeah, it's just one room, one place, where there are guys, and they'll probably be retired umpires. There are guys in there waiting to get some video. And it's like, it's not even the same town or city. It's absolutely crazy. So the umpires in this room have access to all the video feeds. They look at it from every angle, and then they get back to the umpire on the field and let them know what they saw. And Major League Baseball is guessing that replay will only be used about 10 times a year total. Not by each team, just total. So, for me, it seems like they're saying, yeah, okay, fine, we'll institute a replay, but, nah. We'll only use it a little bit, and we won't even let the umpires here know. Come on. I'm trying to catch up in the chat room. Smidog says it's all about how long it takes to go through the action on the disputed play. If it's short, he's good with it. Yeah. You know, however long it's got to take. I mean, I don't think... I know, and you know, when we watch a replay at home, all right, usually I'm right most of the time just by watching the play in live action, right? Usually, I mean, come on. Just by watching it live action, we can usually see what happens. And we're right most of the time. But as soon as they show it from like one replay, you just slow it down a little bit. I mean, it's, you know, they can't take long. It doesn't take long. And matter of fact, when I'm watching the NFL and they go to the replay booth and they're back there for a minute and a half, it's like, come on, man. You can see it. In the first replay, you can see it. Anyhow, it just depends. It could be a quick thing. Elwood's not happy about it. Elwood says replay is going to suck. Elwood, you really don't think that replay would be good for baseball? You really would just rather umpires be out there to blow calls? It will slow it up. What, dude, we just talked about this before. Baseball's a slow game anyway. I mean, it's a slow game anyway. If you're watching baseball, you're not watching it for the speediness of the game. You know what I mean? Oh, now baseball's slow. I can't watch it. Come on, man. It's already slow. It's already slow. So that's not a good enough reason. If they were replaying every single play, for some reason, every single pitch, if they were replaying, okay, right. I'd understand. We don't need a 9-hour game. Elwood says if Amish people wouldn't use it, then we don't need it. Elwood, think about what you're saying. You shut down your computer, turn off your lights, and sit there in the dark. Churn butter. You can't. I mean, Amish people don't use razors. At least not much, it doesn't seem. To me, you know, I'm not going to keep repeating this. Just get it right. I'm all in favor of getting it right. I mean, it's that easy. We have it there. We can do it. We have cameras. We have the ability to look at what we just saw the second after we just saw it. Get it right. Fix it. Handle it. And baseball's doing it, so good for them. Good for baseball. You know, I think this will be good for the game.